Hey y'all, welcome to Troubleshooting Tuesdays. This is Selena here, and today we are going to be talking about estrogen metabolism and its connection to MTHFR. So let's just delve right in here. First, we're going to do a quick overview of methylation and MTHFR. So let me get that pulled up here. Okay, so here is a simple basic methylation chart illustration of a couple different key pathways, and that is our methylation cycle, which is this top kind of left quadrant. The bottom here on the right, the top right half. The bottom right half over here is the transsulfuration or detox. And over here on this left side, top and bottom on the left, is our neurotransmitter section of the evaporin cycle. So some of the key genes that we're going to be looking at here are COMT, which you're going to see this also over here in your neurotransmitter. And then over here, the GSH and GST, GSR, GPX. Down here at this bottom, this little mini oval here, this is glutathione. So this is we're gonna see this in the estrogen. So estrogen this is kind of a short overview of that. And let me go back to MTHFR first so that you kind of see these are the two pieces here. We're gonna be looking at the estrogen metabolism, and we're also gonna look at methylation and how that's connected. But you see here the P450s, COMT, and the GSH transferase. So this is the GSH transferase, has to do with glutathione. The COMT here is going to, it's the catecholamine methyltransferase. So this is going to kind of degrade these catecholamines, which the estrogen, that's what that is. So let's go back here and how that's connected to MTHFR. So let me zoom in just on, I think, a few of these. So it's not quite so many here. This is a little bit clearer. So this one here is, there we go. This one here is the folate methionine transsulfuration chart. And let me get it where you can see all of it here. MTHFR, and I think I can highlight hopefully here. MTHFR is over here. I can't highlight. Oh, so MTHFR is over here in this bottom, like over here on the left in this bottom circle here. That MTHFR makes something called methylfolate. And now methylfolate goes up here to the MTR gene. And at the MTR gene, it combines with methyl B12, zinc, and homocysteine. So it needs all four of those things together, those building blocks together, to move to the next step. So it's going to go over here at that, it's going to make the methionine, and it's also going to kind of recycle here in the folate cycle. So if we don't have enough cofactors, then this can get backed up. And why that's important is because after methionine over here, it makes something called SAMe, and that's the SAM. And you'll see this SAM throughout Ben's pathway planners. You often see it as SAM with a lowercase e. So that's SAMe. SAMe is needed by COMT for that gene to work. So that gene is over here. We can see some of the cofactors needed for COMT. This has to do with the dopamine pathway, but it's going to need SAMe. Any of your genes that have that MT, the methyltransferases, need SAMe as a cofactor. They could need other things as well, but you know that they need at least SAMe. So that's the one of the connections. It's the first connection to MTHFR and estrogen, is that we need that SAMe to work for the COMT gene to work. So if estrone can't go down here and get cleared out properly, then we can get to these forms that they're very damaging, and that's where you have like the cancer and the different other problems that we have, where you have PMS, you have endometriosis, you have all these other things that kind of back up in the female system with hormones being out of balance, the cramping, no sleep, or you have anxiety, just a lot of things that will kind of it escalates, and a lot of times it will start compounding as it starts draining out these cofactors. So the next part is this GSH transferase, the glutathione transferase. So let's go back here to the transsulfuration pathway. So, and I think we need it, it's better with this one here. So this here is, again, the folate is over here on the left, the methionine is here on this top right. The two of them here are usually referred to as the methylation cycle. Down here, homocysteine. So we didn't really finish after SAMe what happens. So SAMe then gets made over here to SAW, and then that gets made down in here eventually to homocysteine. So homocysteine can go three different directions. Two of them just kind of keep recycling and keep that methionine cycle moving. One of them goes down, and this is the only elimination route of homocysteine. This is how it gets sent down to the detox pathway and can go to make glutathione, or it can go over here to like sulfates and then to the TCA cycle. So, but this is where we're going to look at this bottom part, this transsulfuration. of homocysteine. So right here's the homocysteine. It needs B6 as a cofactor to move down here. And there's a B6 a couple of times, and it comes on down here. Magnesium and ATP are needed also to get to the glutathione. So we have the glutathione reduced and we have the glutathione oxidized. So glutathione will go and get on a toxin or get on a hormone, and then it's kind of oxidized, and it's actually worse now than whatever that toxin was or whatever it's trying to get rid of first. We have to keep this moving. This is extremely important that glutathione is recycled, or else if you get stuck in this oxidative state, then we have a lot of damage that can happen. So that's where GSR, we need FAD for that as a cofactor, and this NADP, NADPH. And this is super important because this goes back to that neurotransmitter pathway that we saw just a minute ago. Let me get back to this one here, this bigger one where I said you've got that biopterin, the neurotransmitter pathway. Over here in your tryptophan pathway makes this here NAD. You see it over here in this far left, kind of about mid-screen here. I wish I had a highlighter. That NAD, and it doesn't stop there. I'm not sure why Ben doesn't keep this going, because NAD is vital for nearly every process in our body, whether it's immune response related or inflammation related. We need to have NAD and that whole NAD family. It goes to NADP, NADPH, NADH. All of those work in tandem, and we need them throughout the body. So this is super, super important that this biopterin cycle is working really well. Because if this gets backed up, then we're going to have problems with the glutathione cycle. We're not going to be able to, this glutathione over here is not going to recycle. We're not going to be able to clear out toxins. We're not going to be able to clear out hormones. And then we're going to start having symptoms from those excess toxins and excess hormones. And that's why it's super, super important to be looking at that bigger picture. So that's kind of how the MTHFR is connected, because it's part of these recycling. It's what keeps a lot of these things going. Having problems at any of these steps can be problematic. So it's not just MTHFR, but now you know a little bit more about where MTHFR kind of fits in that picture of estrogen recycling and hormone problems, PCOS, endometriosis, the cancers, the painful periods, the cramping, bloating, tiredness, like you have like insomnia, all of those kinds of things. It kind of goes back to these things all have to be working in a symphony together. So we just have the drummers is going to be a very, very different type of song than when we have the entire orchestra playing. So hopefully that has been helpful. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. We are starting a new partnership with Revitalize Medicine, which I'm extremely excited to announce that and to be working with Dr. Tara Scott. She has been doing integrative and functional medicine for about 20 years. She does a lot with genomics. She understands that this is something to actually look at, where many doctors, even in the functional medicine arena, they kind of will brush it off. But she teaches and lectures throughout the world on educating doctors about, hey, we got to look beyond just a few of these, key little areas and look at everything holistically. So it's excited to be working with her. If you guys have any other questions, reach out to me, and you all have a wonderful, great day. Take care.